Okay, this is a video that's going to show the differences between a WellVisor and a WeatherTech side window visor for the LS460. This one is a 2007. I bought the WellVisor about a year ago and liked it fairly well, but I wanted to see what the WeatherTech version was like, so I just recently bought those, and before I take these off and put the other ones on, I want to do a little comparison for all the people out there who own the LS, who maybe have one or the other or are considering one or the other. Now you can spend over $700 on the Lexus, guess you might call it the OEM version, out of Japan, but for most of us that's not very doable. So anyway, the what I have here is the WellVisor. Pretty much the WellVisor just sticks on. You can see the chrome piece there that just kind of follows the curve of the top of the door. There's the name. When you get to this point, I've heard this mentioned before, a lot of people, well, you've got that gap in between there because they're not made to the length to reach that part. So that's one issue with the WellVisor. And also, this little piece right up in here, I can get to it, tends to be the one that tends to want to unstick itself a lot. So no matter how much prep work you do, cleaning, they tend to unglue or unstick. But that's one of the things. If you follow it along the top, this is an L version, so it extends past the back window there. The back one, I like that little piece there, which in the WeatherTech ones you'll see is a little different. But you notice the chrome is actually part of the WellVisor. So it sticks with 3M. In the middle, there's about 3, I think, little metal clips in here. And then when you get down to the front of the vehicle, this part here is another problem. I switched these over to the shark fin ones from the original flat ones that the 07 has, and part of that whole wind noise deal. But this little piece here tends to not want to stay. I'll try to go a little closer. Maybe some of you have gotten it to stay a little bit better once you kind of pop it in there, but eventually, for me, it tends to want to come out. So again, the WeatherTech is a little different design, so I think that'll be a nice improvement. And also the WeatherTech doesn't, since it fits inside the groove, you don't have this overlay of the chrome on top of this chrome, which is the original chrome. So anyway, that is kind of where we're at with the WellVisor one. It's going to take me some time, you know, to pull these off and to put on the WeatherTech ones and then get another video. So but probably going to end it here for now until I get that done. Just want to show you the WellVisors before I did any of the work to put the other ones on there. Hopefully this is going to be helpful for a lot of you who are thinking about it or have one or the other, like I said. So guess we'll end it for now. We'll come back with the second half. Right? Okay. We've installed the WeatherTech sun visors. Just gonna give you a video look at this first. See, from the front corner up to the top, across the pillar to the back window, and then to the very back. So I have the WellVisors here on top. So like I said in my earlier video, the 3M tape along the back, and they put these two little clips, one in the front, one in the back, to hold it in. That just fits over the top of the door and secures it pretty well. I mean, the combination of those two things, you know, for over a year worked fine. You know, I kind of like the look. I mean, you see the chrome on this, so it just kind of lays on top of that. But the front corner piece is where I always had my problem getting that to stay into that front piece down here. It just never wanted to stay. Some of you probably got yours to stay better than mine, but if it popped out, then that just created an air gap, and there goes your extra wind noise. So that's what the WellVisors are. So the two things I will point out real quick. The size difference. If you notice, if that sits right on top of there, and you see the difference in the length of these guys. So you see where the bottom of the WellVisors drop at. Get back up in there. And then you see how much further the WeatherTechs go down. So they actually do drop, a solid inch more than the WellVisors do. So they, they come down a lot further. There's their name on the front. The tint on these is more of a smoked gray, whereas the tint on these is more of a blue tint to it. So putting them in, not a big deal. You put it in, tuck in the front corner, you bow the thing out, and you tuck in the back corner. When you tuck it in, you drop it in about here, and then you just kind of got to flex it in and work its way up and into the trim here. The trick is getting this the plastic trim underneath this. So when you get to this point, it tends to want to get really hard to push in there, and you got to kind of lift this up to get it to slip in there. The rear ones went in a lot easier. Same way, just tuck it in, bow it out, tuck it in the other side, and just work it up. This went in really easy. There's a lot more gap in the channel. So what they did is they put a piece of tape on this side and one on this side, so that when it's pushed out, the tape is going to hopefully keep it in place so it doesn't drop down or move around. So it is just a little bit more movement in this than the front. These are going, once they go in, they're pretty tight. This because if this is moving around, the window goes up, it's going to bump the corner, and then the window's going to come back down. It's just the automatic safety feature in the windows, where it just sees that obstruction and then just drops it back. So there was a video online of somebody saying that there's, in a different car, the rear window flew off, but in his video it really just fell off and fell into the car because he had the window down. So he put his own 3 double stick tape around the edge. So maybe WeatherTech realized that, and they did it on the edge, so when you roll the window up the first time, you want to push out on this so the window can get up behind it, and then it's been applying pressure on it for the past 10-12 hours now since I put them in. But just something to be aware of. And on the front, the flare here, you want to make sure this piece is outside the trim, kind of hangs above it, doesn't touch the chrome. It even says in the instructions that if you put this in and it's actually gets trapped behind this piece here, it'll just be wrong, and then the window goes up, it'll go up, and then once this part of the window comes up, it'll see that obstruction, and then the window comes back down. So that's because this side I did fine, the other passenger side I didn't see it, and then I put it in there, and then the window would go up and come down, and I realized that, and then I had to pull this out, which just have to be a little careful because this doesn't have as much flex as the WellVisors do. This is a little bit more rigid, but so it doesn't, the WellVisors are really flexible. So when you see that little channel there. When you're on the inside of the car, you can really see these drop down, since the length is a lot more than the WellVisors, like I said, so it will be more noticeable there. But as far as the look goes, as you can see, it's a lot cleaner look, looks more factory. The WellVisors did fine. I mean, I had them on there for over a year, except for that front corner piece. A little bit of the 3M tape not wanting to stick on this once. Did well. I mean, I drove thousands of miles with it, highway, rain, whatnot, and it never flew off. So these are just more secure. I'm going to see if I can get in here real quick and see if I can show you the inside. So as you notice on the inside, you see a little bit more of the window there. So you do tend to see a little bit more of the of this hanging down. So just wanted to give you that. So anyway, the WellVisors are running about $67, $68 online. These ran $99. So you know, not that big of a difference price wise. You know, $30 difference. This is a lot cleaner. So we'll just see how they hold up over time, which I think should be just as good as those. So for my money, I think this would be the way to go. So some of you who maybe don't have any of them and are thinking about getting a pair, I would probably go with the WeatherTechs. You know, again, they got a good warranty. They will, if they break, they will replace them for you. WellVisors, I'm pretty sure, are pretty close to the same, but I just think that for $20 more, this is the way to go. A lot cleaner look. So anyway, just wanted to get that to you. So if you are thinking about it again, like I said, you can see what the differences are, and or if you have one and not the other, see what the other one looks like I was trying to figure out. But anyway, I guess that pretty much takes care of it, and I hope this is helpful to some of the other LS owners.